growing sense of entitlement among users that they should be able to access the corporate systems by whatever device they want to use. Mark Aboud is the Managing Director of SAP Canada. Mark, thanks for coming.
Pleasure.
My position is it's a corporate network. They're corporate applications and data, they're all corporate assets. Shouldn't IT just say no? Doesn't the corporation actually have a responsibility to shareholders and customers to control those assets?
Yeah, I would agree. The corporation needs to control its assets. IT needs to control its networks and its the way it operates. On the other hand, they've also got to meet the needs of the business and the expectations of employees. So if employees expect to have a certain level of service and a certain type of phone or device, IT needs to accommodate that. So IT needs to find solutions to how businesses and people want to operate today.
Is that almost a talent retention issue?
Sure, it's a talent attraction, a talent retention, and employee satisfaction, all wrapped up into one. I mean, if you think about how people, especially younger generation, want to operate today, they don't want to operate under the old rules. They don't see any reason why they should have to. So I believe it's incumbent on IT to evolve their infrastructure to allow what society is doing to happen and as you say, retain employees.
Supporting all those platforms, I mean, you could have iOS, BlackBerry OS, Android, possibly even WebOS or
Yes.
Windows Phone 7 perhaps not so much, but you do have a lot of platforms
You
to support, including the on-premise stuff as well. So that's an issue.
That's clearly an issue, and if you think about it, what IT really wants to do is outsource that to companies like SAP. Have us create products that allows IT just to implement and use them versus IT creating all these ways to manage devices and so on and so forth. It's not a productive use of their time. We have products like Afaria, for example, that allows a company to have its employees bring whatever mobile device they want into the company, and we manage the security of that from a single product that's in the cloud. So you actually don't have to buy anything, right? So IT companies have, IT departments have tools today that didn't exist even 18 months ago to allow them to let employees bring all these plethora of devices into the company and manage the data securely.
Do you find there's less resistance to that? And I know that years ago there was a resistance
No
to
question.
ceding control.
I believe there's less resistance. I believe the resistance could get even less once we put more solutions in the cloud, once we make them easier to use for IT, once IT sees the value in letting someone else do those functions, then IT can move to a higher level of support for their business and let some of those basic functionalities be provided by companies like SAP.
We're talking about consumerization of IT.
Yep.
We're not just talking hardware either. There's also the issue of employee use of especially web-based apps, Facebook,
Absolutely.
Twitter. What's the solution there?
Well, the
I mean,
trend.
obviously, clear policy. It's got to start with clear policy.
Clear policy, but I think, the trend is there. It is going to happen. People are going to mix their personal and business lives together. That's just naturally it happens now, it's going to happen in the future. So what we have to do is accommodate for that, have policies and guidelines so that information and the products, et cetera, are managed appropriately for the business world, but not restrict the employee to use things like Facebook and social media to actually exist. I mean, some of those solutions and those tools are intermingling with how we operate as business people. So it's hard to separate the two anymore. So we have to learn how to manage business with them both together.
Mark, thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.